In this video, I'm going to explain how getting fit to roll right recruits the brain's natural motivational cycle to increase employee well-being and productivity. People learn and work better when the challenges they face in their roles are just right, when there is good fit to roll. Improving fit to roll requires achieving an optimal balance between an individual's level of skill and role requirements. The evidence strongly suggests that fit to roll predicts greater engagement, happiness, quality of communication, productivity, and even the health of workplace culture. When we achieve fit to roll, we're also creating conditions that support engagement. Here's how it works. In the workplace, the challenges we're expected to face should be just big enough to allow for success most of the time, but not so big that frequent failure is inevitable. We call this balance point the Goldilocks zone because it's where the level of challenge is just right. Identifying the Goldilocks zone is important for 3 reasons. First, and most obviously, if the challenge is too high, people make lots of mistakes. It's not good for business if people make too many mistakes. Second, if the distance between employees' levels of understanding and the difficulty of the challenge they face is too great, employees are less likely to understand and learn from their mistakes. This kind of gap can lead to a vicious cycle in which, instead of improving or staying the same, performance gradually deteriorates. Third, it's when a challenge is just right that we're more likely to have fun working and feel motivated to work even better. This is because when challenges are just right, our efforts produce success just often enough to ensure the release of pleasure hormones called opioids that give us a sense of satisfaction. And these opioids have a second effect. They trigger the release of dopamine, the striving hormone, which motivates us to reach for the next challenge, so we can experience the satisfaction of success once again. The dopamine-opioid cycle will repeat indefinitely in a virtuous cycle, but only when enough of our learning challenges are in the zone. And as long as the dopamine-opioid cycle keeps cycling, we feel engaged. Engaged people are happy people. Well, not really happy like the people in the picture. They experience a kind of happiness that's more like satisfaction. People are also happier when they feel they can communicate effectively and build understanding with those around them. When we get role fit right in an entire team, we're also building a team with members who are more likely to understand one another. When different team members think in complexity levels that are too far apart, they have trouble understanding one another. This is because even the same words and phrases are often understood differently at different levels of complexity. But if all team members think in exactly the same complexity level about everything, they may not challenge one another adequately. A team representing a diversity of perspectives and skills, composed of individuals performing within a complexity range of 10 to 20 points on the Lechtical scale, is likely to function optimally. Team members are happiest when they're confident that with reasonable effort, they ultimately can arrive at a shared understanding with other members. People tend to prefer leaders they can look up to, and most of us intuitively look up to people who think a little more complexly than we do. When we get role fit right, we're also ensuring that line managers are slightly more complex thinkers than their direct reports. When it comes to line managers, if we're as skilled as they are, we tend to wonder why they're leading us. If we're more skilled than they are, we're likely to feel frustrated. And if they're way more skilled than we are, we may not understand them fully. Most people work better with line managers who perform 15 to 25 points higher than they do. In other words, we're happiest when our line managers challenge us, but not too much. Sound familiar? Unsurprisingly, all this engagement and happiness has an impact on productivity. It turns out that individuals work more productively when they're happily engaged, and teams work more productively when their members communicate well with one another. Finally, by consistently putting the right people into the right roles, we increase happiness, engagement, communication quality, and productivity. And if we also support the continuous growth of individual and interpersonal skills, the outcome is a well-structured, engaged, and happy workforce that's equipped to interact, learn, and adapt, all of which are core defining characteristics of healthy organizational cultures. To sum up, when we get fit to role right, in other words, ensure that every employee is in the zone, we support individual engagement and happiness, quality communication in teams, and leadership effectiveness. Together, these outcomes contribute to productivity and cultural health. At Lectica, when we think about the future of recruitment, we envision healthy, effective organizations characterized by engaged, happy, productive, and constantly developing employees and teams. We're achieving this vision by reducing the cost of recruitment so that best practices can be employed at every level in an organization, improving predictions of fit to role now and in the future with our learning technologies, broadening the definition of fit to role to encompass the role, the team, and the position of a role in the organizational hierarchy, and promoting the seamless integration of recruitment with employee development strategy and practice. If you'd like to learn more about how lectical assessments can help your organization achieve better fit to role, contact us at lecticalive.org/about/contact.